Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, new day, new junk. Not really new junk, but junk that you haven't seen. I know, you're wondering, what about the last junk? What about that 72 satellite you just brought home and sort of made run barely? Yeah, what about that one? Don't worry, it's still there. It's still here. I still have it. Still gonna work on it. However, this was actually acquired before that, and I just pulled it back out of storage, and we're gonna see about doing some stuff to it today. The reason I'm not working on the 72 is I need more parts, and parts cost money, and I don't have a lot of money because I spend it on junk. But yeah, so I'll bring you in here for a closer look, and we'll see what we're working with. All right, so today we have 1969 Sport Satellite with the weight reduction. This particular car was purchased out of a junkyard in Wyoming because I'd been looking for a Roadrunner-esque type of body style for a build, and well, lo and behold, we got it. So, as you can see, 69 Sport Satellite, obvious standard issue quarter panel rust, and unfortunately we also got the rocker rust with this one, and a little bit of door rust here and a little more door rust up there. But yeah, overall it's basically stripped shell, nothing special. It's just a 318 car. It was obviously this factory sort of light yellow. I don't know the exact paint code, but yeah, it's, you know, straight-ish. I mean, no major signs of damage. You know, there's this, but we're just not going to look at that right now. But yeah, like I said, factory 318 auto car, I believe. And somebody had once upon a time converted this to a manual. And so it had the manual pedals and transmission hump and all that in it that was subsequently robbed for a Roadrunner restoration. You know, basically this car was used as parts. This was a parts car. And of course I come along and I decide to put parts cars back together and drive them, or try to. So yeah, just drum brakes up front, a little more weight reduction there. Yeah, it's as you saw, manual steering. I believe it was probably manual brakes. I do have a fender tag here for those that are interested. Anyway, yeah, kind of a you know, nothing terribly fancy model, and obviously this side is far worse in the rust department, and you tell somebody did a fantastic job of patching once upon a time. That's, for those that can't see that well, that is glued in, not particularly welded, and it's rusted away as well, so that's exciting. We've obviously got some issues going on, but yeah, this still has the 8 3/4 in it. It's also got the better springs. Cat's saying hi. Center chunk has been robbed out of it. Luckily we still have a gas tank, extended shackles, a la 1973. And so yeah, obviously we're missing driver's door. We got passenger door that's completely stripped with hack holes. What's in here is some of this came with it. A lot of it is actually from that wrecked 68 Coronet that I drove home. I'm temporarily going to use it for parts till I decide whether I'm actually going to fix it or not. In the meantime, it's going to provide parts to put this together. So I nabbed a lot of stuff out of it and put it in here because it's stuff that this car needs. Obviously dash is present, but steering column's not. Nothing here, nothing there, nor up there. That's missing. Yeah, no pedals at all. Giant hole where the 4-speed tunnel was, that was scabbed in and then subsequently torched out. Yeah, so we have some work to do. What else we got? Obviously somebody did some nice paint work on the rear bumper, and he even went so far as to DA the bumper to try to get that to stick better, and that worked. We've got a legitimate Roadrunner deck lid. Yeah. Oh yeah, that in the parts quest, trunk gutters gone, both sides. That's gonna have to be dealt with. Interestingly enough, while I got you up here, the back window is surprisingly not bad. There's I'll try to get you in the light here. Yeah, it's not really pitted up or scaly or nothing. You know, all that's good. It's all looking rather fair, surprisingly enough. Obviously, both taillights, major plus. Stop. All right. So in the trunk, some more junk and junk and junk. But yeah, surprisingly, given the condition of the quarter panels, there is still a trunk floor. And there's still a trunk floor up there, believe it or not. I'd show you, but I kind of need 2 hands to get this emptied out. There is some holes there, a little bit. Obviously, that. Yeah. Let me see about moving some of the stuff, and I'll show you guys what's going on. All right, so got some of the big pieces out of here. Now see what we're working with. Got a broken tie down. It's handy to have. Just found the piece though. Looks like windshield trim. That'll be handy. Save that for later. We got a bottle jack stuck. High beam headlight. Might be able to fix that up. We got, there's some holes, no surprise, but it's not like gone. There's stuff here still, surprisingly. I mean, it's a little soft, but it's here. See, there's a little bit missing there, a little bit over there. Alright, but that's alright. Hey, look, keys. Those look like GM keys. Got door handles and trim. I don't know that that's for this car. That's probably not for this car. I think this was used as some junkyard storage for a bit too. Don't know if that's for this car. Lots of nuts and bolts. That might be handy. Do I recognize that? No, I don't. So, yeah, but I actually got a trunk floor. I mean, that's better than some of the other stuff I've brought home. It's better than a number of the other things I brought home. So, cool. So, continuing on, obviously we have part of tailpipe. Gas tanks present. Said 8 3/4 there. Is missing the brake drums because literally when I brought this home, it was just sitting on the axle housing on the trailer. It was not a roller. Because somebody took the third member out of this, the center chunk with the gears in it, they had pulled the axles and brake drums, and luckily I found the axles in the car, but the brake drums were missing. So I literally just slid the axles in and put wheels on. So they are not actually bolted nor held in at all. So I take that back. I might have put a nut on there, maybe, possibly, don't remember. Anyway, they're just barely in there. And you could probably, like, you know, wobble that and like see it flex because, well, there's that missing and the axles are just kind of flopping around. So yeah, we got some work to do. We need brakes. Well, it'd be nice to have brakes, let's put it that way. So continuing underneath, surprisingly the floor pans are pretty decent, all things considered. So I think, you know, aside from that, you know, giant hole, we can actually work with what's here without having to completely replace. So that's good. That's not so good. That's also not good. This, pay no mind to that. And, there's something that happened here. What it is, I don't really know. But I'm guessing damage. And damage. So, yeah, that's going to have to be dealt with. You can see a lot of blue parts off of that 68 Coronet. I nabbed a lot of the trim pieces, odds and ends, doodads, window regulator stuff for the back. That side's there. This side missing. Yeah, gone. I put it right there. So, yeah, we've got some work to do, but we've got a windshield. That's, yeah, glass. And it's intact. It's like not broken. It's amazing. Up here, obviously, the heater box is still in there. So, you know, we'll have heat because all the hot coolant will be spilling on the floor right here because that heater core is gonna leak. We know that. Over here, obviously, we've got cut. And yeah, that's not supported anymore. So there's really nothing in the door. It's just a shell. And yeah, so there's a little bit going on in there. That's gonna have to probably get cleaned up and dealt with. Got some cracks going here for some reason, but I don't see any signs of deformation like it's been hit. So these might just be some stress cracks from when this part was stamped, and just, you know, usage and road vibration may have cracked that out. I don't know. Not too worrisome. Obviously there's a little damage here. Yeah, this. Yeah, we'll deal with that. And then problem numero uno, big hole. We gotta fill this hole. Something goes here. So we're gonna see about working on this. We're gonna make it a little better. And, you know, like all the stuff that's, you know, here, well, you know, it didn't come with it. So, well, I found it. We've got extra stuff, and, you know, this gold right there. I mean, that's perfection. And that, I mean, yeah, and that and that and the doors. Yeah, there's an extra one. I get it because it's there, but don't worry about it. And further up, we've got more nice quality gems, and you know this actually came with the car, so I had that piece, and you know we've got that. So we have most of the stuff to sort of make this look complete-ish, more like a car. You know, this aspires to be a car that would have been in a junkyard in the 70s. I mean, it was in the junkyard in the 2020s, but we're gonna make it like more. And for the ultimate, those of you may have noticed this little gem hiding over here. I managed to find, via a buddy of mine, factory A12 liftoff hood. This, no joke, original. It's you know, got some issues and things, and you know, problems, but that is legit A12 Roadrunner stuff. And you're like, wait a minute, I've got two hoods. There's that one, and there's this one. And you know, I don't know. I like them both, and they're both Roadrunner hoods. This is a Satellite. Do I care? No. I just want something that, you know, looks Roadrunner-ish without the Roadrunner cost. And so, found this guy. And I think I really want to put this one on there, but I found that one from another gentleman for a song. And it's also pretty rough, as is, yeah. This factory Roadrunner hood, you can't really see it so good, and it's in the shadows, shade, you know, try to say shade and shadows at the same time. Yeah, there's some dentage there, and there's some like little bendage going on there, and you know, it's a bit crusty. But if I want to use a hinged hood, you know, hood that, you know, has hinges on it, not whoop, drop the phone on you there. Yeah, not the lift-off variety hood with no hinges. This is the hood that will be used. So, yeah. Up here in engine bay, it's pretty. Yeah, it's well, it is. It is. But you know, we're not particularly rusted here in this general region. And well, that I just noticed. Yeah, buddy. 4-speed parts. You know what that means. Yeah, exactly. Given the nature of the situation here, I have a fix. It's not a great fix, but it's better than that. Introducing said fix. This is the newly acquired junk pile front clip from Wrecked Roadrunner. Wrecked. And not wrecked. Yeah. That guy, that is going in the other car. So we're gonna have to surgically extract this via the painstaking spot weld removal process, aka drilling it apart. And yeah, we gotta get that out of there so we can put it in the other car, because that's one of the few things on this that's still intact. You can see obviously it was hit hard. It wrinkled there. This was a 4-speed car, 4-speed parts stolen. Interestingly, the brake pedal is still there, but no clutch pedal, no hanger, rod, nothing, gone. So yeah. And while I'm over here, we have this lovely specimen, and it is going to provide trunk gutter. Yeah, that's gonna be the replacement trunk gutter for the other one, at least for the one side, obviously missing. And depending on how bad that actually is, it might provide some patches for the other one, because again, Steve, just buy one from AMD. Well, that's like $300 or $350 or whatever the case may be. It's expensive for me because I'm cheap, because I buy junk. So we're gonna see if we can possibly patch it with this, maybe, and a little bit of that, and well, maybe some of that, but probably not. And yeah, there's still some good pieces here. It was totally worth bringing home. Don't judge me. So today's project, we're gonna see about getting fender bolt crustage out and remains of fender removed. and you know, some small stuff. I gotta go back to work tomorrow, and so I've got today to do a few things, and I can't get too far. I can't get too much into this because I gotta put this all back away because I gotta go. But we're gonna, like, you know, improve a little and make this more the way it is supposed to be, was. Yeah, this, yeah, that needs to go there, and a little zzz, yeah. We're gonna work on that. So stick with me. We'll be right to it. All right, so we're in my disaster zone of a shop. I've been working away from home a lot, so I haven't been in here a whole lot, and it's just been collecting a lot of junk. Anyhow, got the upper core support in, and needs some work. Yeah, it's needs some work. So, seeing as how I do a lot of sheet metal stuff, as evidenced by, well, you can't really see it, but there's an English wheel there and some other metalworking tools. We're gonna see about fixing it. So, yeah, we're gonna try to get it straight, and we'll go from there. If you're new to metalworking, what basically has to happen here is, well, if you can imagine, this was hit this way, or, you know, pulled, whatever the case may be, it's bent that way. So on this C channel, this leg right here where the bend is, this is stretched, whereas this basically held the shape. And so when it bent, it kind of, if you could picture it, kind of stretched open in a V shape. So what we want to do to fix this is try to reverse that V shape. So I don't expect any of you guys at home necessarily have these. Harbor Freight does sell a version of this. This is a sheet metal shrinker. It is designed for shrinking the edges of panels. I have this because I do a lot of aircraft sheet metal work and things of that nature, and I needed a good quality machine. This particular one has Marchant dies. That's a well-known manufacturer for shrinking machines. But this particular unit was made by the A&R department at Naval Air Station San Diego, which was kind of cool. So this was used probably World War II-ish, post-war, for aircraft repair at Naval Air Station San Diego. So really cool piece of history. This was a military fabbed head, stand, pedal assembly, and they just used the production dies in it. So anyway, little history of the machine here. So what this basically does is it grabs the metal and pushes it together. That simple. I'll try to bring you guys in here for a closer look so you can sort of see what's going on. All right, so this is just a piece of scrap metal I keep in there to keep the dies nice. You can see there's 2 upper and 2 lower jaws here. And as I push the pedal down here, it takes, and I'm gonna put this in here so you can see, it squeezes the jaws together, top to bottom, and then as you continue to press, the jaws follow these ramps, and it compresses the metal this direction. So on a flat piece of metal like this, if you put the whole thing in there, it's just gonna literally compress the metal together. It's not gonna do anything. If you take that and just put the edge in there, it will take and gradually make a curve in the metal. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our C channel here and we're gonna put it in there and see if we can get some straightening going on. So obviously you can see our bend here. I'm gonna start in the area of the greatest bend, and I'm gonna try to cram this in there. Obviously the C channel is gonna foul down here a little bit, so I can only get a little piece of the upper in there, but I'm gonna do the best I can. But I'm gonna start in the area of the greatest bend right here, because this is where most stretch has occurred. And I'm just gonna get the edge, just the very edge of the metal in there, and start shrinking it back, and we'll see if we can get it straight. And obviously, the gap between the dies here isn't really a whole lot, and this metal is a little on the thick side. So this particular machine, I can open it up by pulling the pedal back, but we kind of gotta cram it in there a little bit because the metal's not perfectly flat. It kind of had a wave to it. So anyway, and don't know if you can see, but just gradually grabbing that edge, it's kicking the panel, or kicking the C-channel a lot straighter. So I don't know if you can see that, but a lot of the major bend is out of it already. So we're just gonna keep working it a little more. And it's just a little bit right about here. One more time. And there we have it. Looks pretty straight. Now, before I call this done, I'm going to grab a straight edge and lay the straight edge against here and check it. But in the interim, I'm going to go ahead and flip it over and work on this other side, which, well, actually that one kind of pulled out pretty straight as it is. So that being said, I won't be working on that side. Rather, all I'm going to do is go ahead and take and get this wavy out of it. And I'm going to try to straighten this back side a little bit, flatten that out. All right, so what I've got here is just a heavy steel plate. I just use this basically as an anvil. So there's this little bit of bend right here. I'm gonna work on trying to get some of that flat, and then we're gonna work on this area here. So all I'm gonna do is just lay that flat, use it as a backup, and just hammer it out flat. All right, so just after a couple of minutes of hammering, we got this basically flat. This is pretty well flat. We did flatten this wavy out. However, in doing so, because all that metal was waved out, it means it was stretched. When we pushed it back flat, it showed the stretch because this edge has a little bit of a curve to it. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, there you go. A little bit of a curve to it. So we're gonna have to go back over to the shrinker and get that curve out. All right, so I'm gonna see if I can illustrate this as good as possible. So we basically got it back straight. Looks pretty good. You might be able to see there's a little bit of a wowie right in here where it kind of puckers out. And that's from a little bit of a bend down here, and the metal kind of went out that way. If we can see it, you can sort of see the straight edges resting on top of that bump. So what we gotta do is basically push the metal down here and out this way at the same time. So we're gonna go back over to the my steel plate with the hammers and see if we can get that fixed. All right, so we've got it basically straight again. All right, so before we go ahead and see about reattaching this centerpiece, we got some more work to do. There's a fair bit of, there's some bent stuff over here, bent stuff here, and, you know, bent stuff. Now, y'all are probably wondering, Steve, AMD makes this and that and like all of it. Why don't you just replace it? Well, that's $400. And $400 spent here, not so much. I would love to be able to just buy one, but I'm a working guy like the rest of you. I don't have a lot of money. This is why I buy junk, because it's cheap. So we're not buying a new one, not right now. You know, if this just irritates me to no end in the future, I might buy it then. But for now, we're just gonna fix as best we can and do a little weld and weld and weld, and we're gonna make do. Remember, the goal here is to get all of this on the road and enjoy it and have something that kind of looks like a Roadrunner. Sort of. It looks cool anyway. So anyway, we gotta straighten this. Alright, so went ahead and got our straightened upper core support piece clamped in place. Got these nice little butt weld clamps, and you'll notice there's gaps in there. So this was obviously chopped with a Sawzall, so it's a pretty thin blade. So I got roughly blade width put back in there, and it's pretty straight with what's up here. Obviously damage here still. So I'm going to go ahead and tack this back into place, and once that's tacked, I'll go ahead and start popping clamps and get it fully welded back up. And obviously it doesn't line up over there, but that's due to the damage that's incurred over here that we have yet to straighten out. So what's important is it's straight from this section over here, so that matches up the way it should. So we'll work on straightening that back up over here after we weld that. All right, so we got this tacked or welded back together for the most part. I got to do fill in a couple little spots here, but I just ran out of welding gas, so I'm gonna have to go take care of that. But in the meantime, I think I'm gonna go ahead and try to work on straightening a little bit of this area here to get this pulled up and lined up better where it's actually gonna match up over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and work on straightening this area out and possibly a little of the panel down here. So back to hammer and dollies. All right, so just got back from the welding supply place, got gas refilled, and I'm gonna go ahead and do a little bit more welding, finish up a couple little spots that had some holes that developed, get those taken care of, and then I'm gonna see about trying to get the rest of this sort of straightened out. This area right here, yeah, this was obviously bent pretty severely, bent so far that you can see the stretch that incurred from the bend and the subsequent tear, top and bottom. So that was pretty significant. So this is actually so bad that it's gonna have to get trimmed and basically cut out and replaced. All right, so due to the severe trauma that's been exhibited right in this area, this has been stretched out pretty severely. Obviously this is all messed up. I think what I'm going to do is all these spot welds up here are blown. These are shot, so I've only got maybe 2 or 3 over here and then 2 or 3 over here. So I'm going to go ahead and take and drill these out and drill these out and go ahead and remove this so we can deal with this in the shop. Alright, so went ahead and clamped this piece of angle iron on the backside to hold this straight while I weld this flange back up. I'm going to move it and do the same for the upper flange. Hey everyone, so it's obviously the next day. The trip to the welding shop really cut into the time I had available, and then I just ultimately ran out of light, couldn't film, things like that. So excuses. Core support still not done. Didn't get it fixed. Didn't get it totally straight, totally welded back in. None of that. It's still, yeah, Bluetooth gone. I know, Steve, if you'd have just bought the AMD one, you could have had it done by now. I know, I get it. I would have loved to spend $400. No, I wouldn't have loved to spend $400. I would have loved to be able to buy one and just put it in. But no, I can't, because I got a lot of this junk. Yeah. So we're still in process, and this is still missing, and it's just gonna have to wait because I gotta go back to work, and I gotta be gone for a little bit. So work calls, and this has to go back to sitting until next time. I want to thank you guys for watching. Thanks for putting up with me, and tune in next time. This project is to be continued. We'll be back to it, and I'll be sure to show it to you right here on the channel. Thanks for watching, guys. All right, what areas do we have to fix?
That one.
You gotta fix that? Mm-hmm. What else do we gotta fix? Fixer us. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a bit of that to be done.
And there's a big hole right here.
You sure that's a big hole right there?
Mm-hmm. Big hole.
Right there? Mm-hmm. That one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
That's all the problems we gotta fix?
And there's piece.
All right. Well, dude, you're knocking the beauty off of it. What'd you do that for? So just that, just that and those over there.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else.
Mm-mm.
You sure? Are you sure? What else do we got to do?
Is I fix and I put motor in.
We got to put the motor in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what kind of motor?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of motor do you want to put in?
Orange.
An orange one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's not a bad choice. Is it going to be a big motor or a little motor?
With a little motor.
A little motor? Are you sure? You want like a lawnmower motor? Or should we put a big motor in?
Yeah.
Big motor for lots of fun?
Yeah.
What else do we got to do? What else do we got to do?
Fix door back in.
Put the door back in?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that might be important. Anything else missing?
I'm gonna put hood back on.
Put the hood back on?
And fenders.
Hood and fenders?
Mm-hmm.
All right. High five. Nice.